Good evening and welcome to today's webinar, everyone. We'll be kicking off shortly. Our host would be with us and the event will start. It's good to have every one of you here today. Thanks for joining the session. Welcome Anas, welcome Yakubu, welcome Abdul Lawal. Welcome once again to today's session. We'll be kicking off shortly. Our hosts and our speakers are here and we're ready for the session. So we'll be starting shortly. It's good to have every one of you here today. Thank you. All right, good evening and welcome to today's session. We are kicking off right away. Today's session is titled AI and Me, How to Get Ahead with AI. And we have the person of David Magaji, the CEO and founder of CandleWeb AI, who is going to be the major host of the session. And we also have Truth, who's a project coordinator, and she would be our main guest speaker of the day. It's going to be an amazing and an interesting session. If you've been part of any of CandleWeb's past webinars and sessions, one thing you would know is that it's very educative. We give you the best value and we make sure you understand everything that is said and we make it very, very insightful and practical. So Stay tuned for today's session. If you need your writing materials, I'd advise you keep it by your side so you can take notes. Or if you have your recorder, you can go ahead and record the session. We would also be sharing a recording of the session after we're done to every single person who have registered for the event. So it's going to be a great one. I'm handing over to you, David Mogaji. Good evening and welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much, Isaac. Good evening, everyone. It's great to have every single one of you join us here today. And yeah, thank you so much, Truth, for inviting your community today. Thank So just as Isaac rightly said, my name is David Mogaji, and I'm the founder and CEO of CondoWeb. You get to know what we do eventually. We're going to be talking about the topic for today is going to be AI and me, how to get ahead with AI. And what I'm going to be talking about is the different things that you can actually do with AI as a student or as a working professional for you to be able to get ahead. Because if you've been listening to the news or if you've been paying attention to AI generally, one thing you would agree with me is the world has changed. Some people would say it's changing, but I choose to believe that it has changed. And the change is going to be much more pronounced as the days and weeks and months and years go by. So I'll be kicking off by giving us a little bit of introduction into artificial intelligence, which is AI, for those of us who are just sharing the time for the first time. So first, I have a little definition here, which explains AI from the textbook perspective, which is artificial intelligence is the ability of a computer system to perform tasks typically associated with human intelligence. What that means is if an AI is able to do or perform a task, that's usually it's only a human being that can be able to perform that task. That's some degree of artificial intelligence. But how I like to see AI to make sure that you don't see it from a narrow lens. You're able to see the broader picture and then take advantage of the opportunities that this technology provide. Is the second definition I have here, which I said, think of AI as raw capable intelligence with untapped potential, right? A general purpose tool you can point at almost any problem from writing and analysis to managing your business and money, right? So what that means is that instead of thinking of AI as just artificial intelligence, something that just works for one tool and all of that, see it as intelligence, right? General intelligence, right? Not like AGI, but as general intelligence. Because the truth is that every single entity that ever exists or any organism that exists have a level of intelligence in a way that a fish would be intelligence. Same thing with a dog, same thing with a goat, same thing with a human being, right? But every single thing they share, what they share in common is what's intelligence. Now with AI, it took a little bit step further, right? In intelligence when it comes to purpose, we have modern day AI systems that are more intelligent than any single human being when knowledge, right? But when it comes to like particular territories, right, we have people that are way better than AI in those particular industries or sectors. But when it comes to general knowledge, AI is much more knowledgeable than any human being, which means you can use AI as someone who is into finance, you can use AI as someone who is a student, you can use AI as an analyst, you can use AI as a business developer, you can use AI as a virtual assistant, you can use literally for almost every single thing because they have that much knowledge about the world. If you reference the something like the creation of man from the Christian perspective or from the Christian religion, you hear where they said, "Let's create man in our own image." So what we are doing is we're creating AI in our own image, and our image is not singular, right? You have people of different colors, different languages, different ideologies, and the data that AI is being used, or the data being used to train AI, kind of encompasses all of this. So we have a technology that understands us, I would say, a little bit better than we understand ourselves sometimes. Right. So see AI as a general purpose intelligence, most anything that we can able to get value from that. So the other thing I'll be talking about is the brief history of AI. I know that a lot of people think AI is new, but AI is actually not new. It's been around since the 1950s. I think that was around when they built the first perceptron, but don't bother yourself about what that means. And the idea around creating AI philosophical standpoints, where they ask how we can get machines to actually think, how we can get computer systems to think. And then over time, builders, mathematicians, programmers came together. They were bringing up different theories and trying different things, but they were not able to build it in a way that it is mainstream. And that's because of the fact that the resources to have very advanced AIs as we have now, they are not available, right? And then we needed a massive amount of data, which we did not have. But the advent of the internet, so all the TikTok, all the Instagram, all the to-go, Facebook, eBody we've ever done on the internet has from this amount of data that are being trained, right? So this is part of the things that made way for us to have the kind of AI systems that we have today. And then the other one is better learning methods, right? So we had different ways systems. I think before AI system, we even had things like expert systems, right? But then, as society continued to progress, we began to have much more advanced AI systems, and today we have AI systems that have passed the Turing test. So, for anyone here who hasn't had the word Turing test before, uh, means in plain language, a human being is able to have a computer system and you're unable to tell whether you're having that conversation with a human being or a machine. So that is an AI systems um, have already passed that stage. They can write, they can hold conversations, they can even take actions in the real world. You can have an AI that is helping you manage your social media accounts. You can have an AI that is helping you manage your budgets. You could have an AI that is your personal assistant that help you take calls, schedule meetings, and all of that. So these systems are quite capable now. So this is how far we've come with artificial intelligence. Then the next thing I'll be talking about is the automation act. And why I'm talking about automation in this is because of the fact that personally, I believe that AI would have the most impact in automation, right? And yeah, if you don't know what automation is just basically the act of having something that is repeatable to be done automatically, right? So I think automation came out of the word automatic. So that's what it is. And why I personally believe that AI would have a single person here should be paying attention to AI automation is this. I would ask one question, which I'll throw to the house. Right? I'll ask everyone here, and I'll guess what your answer is. So, if you're able to create a clone of yourself, right, a version of yourself that is has the same abilities as you, it can think the way you can think. It can walk the way you can walk. It can do literally every single thing you can do. If you're a worker, for example, would you go to work on Monday alone to go to work? And would you, if you like cooking or maybe you want to make food, you know, would you want to cook every single time? Or you'd ask your clone, that other version of you that's capable as you to go and cook the food for you. I think for me personally, I think I'll ask the clone to do that, and I think that's what most people would do. I think most people would want the clone to be the one to go to the clone to be the one to go to because you'd be amazed what we would all want the clone to do, right? And this is basically more or less what AI is. right? AI is a bit of a clone of us because it was created from the data, from our conversations, from our knowledge base and everything. So it's more like a clone of the whole of the human society. And another thing to pay attention to is it is intelligence, right? It is intelligence. And because of the fact that it is intelligent, to automate literally any kind of task or almost any kind of task that can be done on a computer system, right? So I'm talking about managing social media accounts, helping you send emails, help you search for jobs, fill out job applications, help you apply for funding, help you reach out to customers. It can literally do anything for you. I think even recently, Paystack um, integrated AI agents to their platform where they can actually help people carry out transactions and do a whole lot of other things. So this system are already here with us. The best thing anyone can do for themselves is to make sure they are very much aware of this technology, and beyond that, you're able to build with this. Because one thing AI automation has made is that it has kind of leveled the playing field where almost anyone is capable. Before you get a software engineer, it's something that you brag about, but now someone can speak plain English or even Hausa or Igbo to a large language model, and it will help the person create a software. It wasn't possible, right? So now everybody's a creative, and the limits that you have now is just the amount of time you dedicate to learning this thing and how far you can think. But let's go back to the automation arc. So we have 3.4 and 4.0, and now 0.0. So around industry 3.0, I think that was smart factories, machines that could automate different kind of things, and then automation for industry 4.0. We began to have systems like connected to the internet, physical devices that are connected to the internet. We started having things like big data. For those of you who don't, who are just hearing the word big data, it's just basically data, but in very, 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 very large um, quantities, very, very large quantities, and very weird structures, right? So this is one of this. The Automation Act just basically talks about how automation has been used over time, or how it has been used to create work and other things. And yeah, during this period, we had people that complained about losing their jobs and all of that. But guess what? We had a lot of people who got better paying jobs, were able to adopt the latest technologies that were being used in these factories. And I'll give you a little bit of personal story. A friend told me about his dad. To just, so I have a friend whose dad is an architect, and he works with, I can't remember whether it was FEMA or school in Nigeria. And then when they were working then, and the architectural plans and all of that, they had to draw it by hand, foundation by foundation, layer by layer, like that. And his dad was really good. The man was really, really good at his job. And then came about, I think, AutoCAD. Yeah, AutoCAD came about. And then I remember he mentioned that different people were advising the dad to learn AutoCAD. That the dad was like, "Oh no, why would he learn AutoCAD? Something that he's very good at. That he can't imagine something that doesn't have intelligence, a computer system. That they should forget it. That is a trend, right? That is a trend, and that over time people would realize that the real artisans are the ones that can actually draw these plans with their hand." Now, one thing that the dad forgot to take account is that a lot of times organizations prioritize speed over almost every other thing, because of the fact that when you're working on a project, you're not the only one working on it. You probably have competitions, right? So sometimes the first person that gets there is who matters, right? An example of this is Google and OpenAI. Google came up with the transformer architecture. OpenAI used it first to build the first public chatbots, and most people know ChatGPT and don't know Gemini. So that's like first mover advantage kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, what happened with my friend's dad is he lost his job, even though he was good with drawing with his hands. He lost his job because of the fact that times had changed and they needed him to be a lot more faster, a lot more precise, and a lot more accurate, right? And then he lost his job. And that's the same thing that is going to happen with AI. A lot of people that are going to be unemployed, a lot of people that are going to lose their jobs are going to lose their jobs because of they don't understand the modern day tools that are being used. And this is not the first time it's happening. It has happened several times in the past, and a lot of people even made a lot of money from it. An example regarding the money aspect is when the internet came about newly, almost anything you built or sold to anyone, they were going to buy. And an example of that is the 1 million um, dollars websites. I think that's what it's called. If you check online, if you Google it, you would see it. And the idea around this was, or the time this was built was during the early days of the internet. So when the internet just came out newly. And what I'm trying to tell you here is about the opportunities that are always available to you when you embrace a new technology early, right? So during the early days of the internet, there's this young guy that gained admission to a school. I can't remember the name of the school, but he didn't have money to pay for his tuition fees. And then he thought of how can he get money to do that. So what he did is that he built a very simple website, a very, very simple website. It's not just a single page. And then what he did businesses and told them that he's going to sell them a little small space on his website where they can put their company logo, right? And then if people click on it, it can take them to the company's website and they can buy their products. Now, this young guy reached out to 1 million businesses and individuals. And at the end of the day, he had 1 million people that bought from him. And that's how he made his first $1 million. Now, this is 2026. If you do this, most people wouldn't buy from you, right? That can literally take your breath away, right? So the buy is higher, right? This, which is the same thing with AI right now. Almost anything you can do with AI that most people cannot do, you get something like a wow, right? But 2 years, 3 years down the line from now, most people wouldn't be impressed by this thing. So this is the best time to get into the system and then make a lot of money or whatever your interest is. So, next slide, where I'll be talking about how automation will shape work and personal life. So first, for I think a lot of work and tasks that is repetitive. So things that you do over and over that has a certain kind of procedure would be replaced, right? And I know that as humans, we like to be egotistical, to feel like we're special. But yeah, we're special, but not so special, right? And one thing you should know is, whether you're currently a worker or a student that intends to work somewhere, is that no matter how good you are at where you're working, if your employer finds someone who is equally good, maybe an AI system that is equally good, that would cost him or her less amount of money, you would lose your job. Because one thing most businesses look out for is to reduce spend operating the business and increase the amounts they make from the business. That's revenue, right? So, which is why the people that will make the most from this era are people that adopt AI early on. So, as I said, a lot of things that we do today would be automated by AI. And I'm not just talking about AI software, I'm talking about physical AI. Yeah, that's already a thing already in a lot of places. Also personal life. So we would have a lot of people that will have AI systems running their businesses for them from top to bottom, right? The only thing they do is maybe they read the reports, weekly reports from the AI system to understand if anything broke, or what customers are saying and how the reviews from customers and how the business is performing over time. Saying would also have people that have AI systems that are helping them, which is something that is very, very important. And Unfortunately, we're not taught that in schools. They don't teach us how to manage money in schools, which is why we have a lot of people that are broke and poor around the world because they don't teach you that in school. And it's something that is very, very critical for you to actually survive this world as an adult, especially that which most of us here already are. And if you're not one, you'll eventually turn become one. So yeah, so you have AI that will help you track your spending, help you with things like investing, and even help you manage your time. And for those of you that don't know, this is just 2026, and we already have people that are getting married to AI, people that are already dating AI systems already. If you doubt me, you have your phone or your laptop, you'll see different stories that are actually real and videos of people getting married to AI systems. So these systems are already here, and the best way to equip yourself for a better tomorrow, even a better today, is to learn and understand the systems. Then the next thing I'll be talking about is the risk of automation because I don't want you to believe that these things don't have a downside. They do have that. So uh, one of the risks of automation is systems might automate certain things that they don't need to automate or human beings to be able to approve complete automation takes place, right? These are some of the risks that is going to come about with AI automation. And yeah, as I said earlier, repetitive work will shrink. So work that are repetitive, right? They are going to shrink. Things like virtual assistants, things like customer care service, which you have a script that you always follow, and all of that. Most of these kind of jobs are going to shrink. But I think the biggest risk around AI and automation is the risk of not adopting the technology early, right? And if you want to understand the cost of not adopting the technology early, just look back to 2009. I think that was about the time that Facebook came out, and I think that was the same time that Bitcoin. That was the same time that Bitcoin. A lot of people got Facebook accounts, uploaded pictures, but very few people knew about Bitcoin. And now, yeah, Bitcoin is dumping. But imagine you bought Bitcoin earlier on, or you got, even if you just bought, imagine how much you'd have now. So, it's the opportunities that are in new technologies, and the biggest risk are always not understanding them or adopting them. And I think the risk is even bigger with AI because, I mean, if you go back, throughout our history, you would see we have a lot of movies that have apocalyptic ending when for the human society where AI went through and took over, killed a lot of people. We have Terminator, we have a lot of new movies that have shown this. But I believe that the best, if at all, this is something that is going to happen. If at all, I hope it doesn't. I really hope it doesn't. But if it's something that is going to happen, I think your best chance at surviving is for you to be able to even understand AI to begin with. If you've read the book, The Art of War by Sun Tzu, I think he said something. He said, if you understand yourself, and don't understand your enemy. For every battle, you're going to, if you understand your enemy, and even for 1,000 battle, you do not need to fear because you're going to win every single time. So if AI is ever going to go rogue, the only way we can defeat it is by understanding it. And yeah, I think this is we should understand it, but there's a lot of money to be made when it comes to AI. I think AI is that people are launching startups that have no customer, no products, but they have valuations that are worth billions of dollars. So that should tell you something. So is the opportunities in AI. So right now we have AI being used in different sectors. There are multiple use cases. So we see AI being used in places like healthcare, customer care service, for virtual assistant work, app developments, content developments, right? There was an event I attended, I think that was last week, and then I was telling the audience, I was telling them that one of the biggest things AI is going to reveal right, is going to that AI is going to review people that are really lazy, right? So before now, if you meet someone that say they have an idea about a tech startup, or a startup, a software company, you ask them, why are you not doing it? They'll be like, I don't know how to code. You ask them, I don't have a laptop. They want that intelligence. You want them to be like, I don't have the money. Now you have a lot of that you can literally speak English to, or any language that you get to speak to it, so long as you understand it, and the AI can actually create that software for you. Like, I don't think you understand the opportunity or the time we're living in. Like, I don't think you understand it. There has never been a time in society that every single person became a creative, that you can literally do anything or create anything just by imagining it and just following it through. Like, this is that period. And if you think that you're already late, I can tell you that 90% of the world population don't really understand what AI is capable of. A lot of people are still doing things like video generation, image generation, which my grandma can do, by the way, right? A lot of them don't know. You have children in China, 14 years, 15 years, 16 years, that are building real businesses with AI. They are not writing any code, zero code. They are not handling the branding. They are not doing anything. And they are making money from their businesses just by doing what? Adopting artificial intelligence. So the opportunities are many. They are not even, in fact, some of them have not even thought about. You have your use cases, you know what you can use it for. And a lot of these tools are free. Some of them are even very, very cheap. The ones that are not free are very, very cheap that you can actually use to create value for yourself. Because one thing I can tell you is if you miss the opportunities in AI, just the same way we always talk about generational wealth, I think you might be surprised that you'd get into something called generational poverty. Because trust me, if everybody can if everybody can create a business, if everybody can do anything, what value does individual skill have at the end of the day or at that point, right? And we're still at the surface level of AI. We haven't even reached AGI or ASI yet. So if you miss this opportunity, I can tell you that you might just survive on the government, right? Through universal basic income. You can look that up and read about it through universal basic income. And depending on the country that you're in, all countries are not equal right now, but depending on the country you're in, some might be favorable to you, some might not be favorable to you. So the best thing you can do for yourself now is use AI to create your business or whatever it is you want to create. And if you're a student, what I can tell you is a lot of you are studying things that you wouldn't even have use for when you graduate. Like you wouldn't even have a job. It's already happening in a lot of places. A lot of people that are studying computer science are graduating with first classes and they don't have any job because entry roles are no longer available. Most AI systems are handling this now for most companies. Either last year or last 2 years, Google came out and said about 50% of their code was written by AI. So that should tell you something. So even if you're a student, I don't run with the idea of done, let me get my first class first. That first class time you graduate. In fact, there is anything by the time you the best times to learn AI is now. So the next thing I'll do right now is just to show you a simple workflow, just so that you can have a typical example or an easy example of how easy it is to build these AI systems that can help you do your work or your. Before I talk about the assistant or should give like a demo of that, I would introduce my team member here, Anas, who would show us a real life workflow of an AI system that actually does real work. So what this AI system does is you send it a receipt um, for something you bought, maybe grocery or whatever you bought, and the AI would get that, would extract the information from that, and then be able to help you keep track your expenses, rather, or help you track like your money, right? And then at the end of the week or something, the AI would write out a report for you on how you've been spending your money, what you've been earning, and then even give you recommendation on how so that you can be. As I said, we are not taught how to manage money or how to build wealth in schools, right? So we're mostly taught how to be workers. But I believe that as an adult, right, it is your personal responsibility to go out there and source for this, not being poor or being broke. And I can tell you that making money is the easiest thing that can happen, right? Keeping your money and then growing it is the difficult part when it comes to personal finance. So I would hand over to Anas to share his screen and then walk us through this workflow that is AI powered. Anas, are you ready for us? Anas, can you speak up? Can you speak so I know you're here with us?
Um, Good evening, Mr. David. Yes, I'm ready for everyone.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Are you ready for us?
Okay,
For you to share your workflow, so you can share your screen.
okay, yes, I'm
Yes,
right
you're
here. Can
audible.
you hear me? Just to be sure, am I audible enough?
All right. Ready,
Okay,
please
yes,
go
I'm
ahead and share your screen.
ready. Let me proceed
All right, please go ahead and share your screen.
to share my screen.
Sorry, what did you say? Yeah, yeah, please do that.
Okay,
It's not up yet, but I think it will be.
okay, let me try that.
And while Anas is trying to um, share his screen and all that, um, please, if you have any questions, please maybe write them down somewhere, or you can ask in the comment section, and we'll attend to your question immediately we're done um, with the session.
Okay, yes. Can you see my screen
Yes,
now?
your screen. Please, if anyone else can see Anas's screen, can you give a thumbs up? If you can see his screen, can you give a thumbs up? Thank you so much for that feedback. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Awesome. Thanks so much, guys. Awesome. Awesome. So, Anas, yeah, please go ahead and blow us away.
Okay, so thank you very much, Mr. David, for the warm introduction. Once again, my name is Anas Fred Manja, and I am an AI information expert at Candleweb. So today I will be showcasing the PDF financial tracker and financial analysis that we built on Telegram. So what that does is using a Telegram bot. So let me show you the bot that we created, right? So and you don't even need coding knowledge to do that. It's just a simple process. So we created a bot that whenever we upload our transaction receipt, right, as you can see this previous uh, previous receipts that have been logged already. So whenever you upload a transaction receipt to the bot, the AI automation checks each of the receipts, checks the contents, whether it's a deposit or if it is a withdrawal, and checks the amount and the date and then logs it down on your Google Sheet. So instead of you doing that manually, so let's say you have customers And whenever a customer come and buy a product, you always keep track of the product or whatever transaction that the customer did on your Google Sheet. So instead of you always doing that manually, you can basically just create a bot on Telegram if you prefer Telegram, or on WhatsApp if you prefer WhatsApp, or a bot or your email. So okay, you can set up an email trigger, okay, that whenever you upload the PDF to the email, the AI automation gets triggered, and then it gets the details from it fetches the details from the PDF and then logs it into your Google Sheet, and also provides an advice which in turn gets sent back to you immediately in real time. Okay, so this is our bot, right? And these are the previous receipts that have been logged. Okay, so let's take a look at the workflow. So as you can see, just like I explained, so in AI automation, what starts an automation is called a trigger. So a trigger can be a WhatsApp message. So meaning if an action is performed on this WhatsApp message, or is this sent in a chat, right? The automation gets triggered. The automation starts immediately and runs a certain process. So in my case, I used a Telegram bot trigger that whenever I upload a receipt to that bot, okay, I check if it is a PDF. If it is not a PDF, I send back an error message to myself using this node. So this is our trigger node, right? And then this is our if statement node that basically checks if the document being sent or if the message being sent contains a document. So the if statement then checks if it contains a document, proceed and run my automation, or send back an error message saying this is not a valid document. Okay. So now the next step is, if it is a document, we then set up another node. So all you have to do when you are dealing with automation is basically just drag and drop. You open your notes panel. When you open your notes panel, depending on the kind of node that you want to use, or depending on the kind of action you want to perform. So if it is a Google in-app action, I'll look for that action within the Google app, that within the Google service that I want to use. It is Google Sheets, whether it's Google Form or Google Mail. So as you can see, this is an example. This is a specific application, and these are the actions or services that I can perform the moment I click and drag this node. Okay. So and in my case, I set up a Telegram download node. So what this does is it gets the PDF file from the Telegram bot, and then passes it onto the next node. So the moment my Telegram file has been downloaded, I then set up an API that extracts the text, okay? And it extracts the text. As you can see, all of this is done without coding knowledge. All you have to do is just learn how to use nodes, which is basically just drag and drop, and then learn each actions and how to use them. So at the end of the day, what matters is how well you learn and how creative you are, okay? So after extracting the text, we then passes it to an AI agent that does what? That extract and provide the details that have been extracted from this receipt in a specific format. So in a specific format, meaning I want it to extract the amount, the description, the narration, the transaction type, and so on and so forth. So once that is extracted, we then drag and drop our save to Google Sheets node, which in turn saves to our financial ledger file. Okay, let me go ahead and open that in my Google Sheets. So just to be sure, please respond with an emoji if everyone can hear you. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. So moving on, this is my financial ledger sheet, right? As you can see, these are the previous transactions that I made. So this was a bank deposit, and this is the amount, and it was a successful transaction. And this is the sender's bank, the receipt name, the recipient's bank, the description, the transaction reference, the ID recommendation, and so on and so forth. Okay.
Yeah.
So moving on, once we stop the...
So one thing I'd like to highlight is, as you can see his screen, right? You can see some icons and all of those things, right? Now, this is where AI is powerful, right? All these things you're seeing here is just something that he's just dragging and dropping. right? He's just dragging one component, connecting it to the other. He's not writing any line of code. And an AI system is able to do all of these things that he's explaining to us automatically. So this is one thing I want you to pay attention to, the fact that he is not writing any code. This is literally an application, right? That before now, if you want to create something like this, you have to write some kind of code and all of those things. But now, like just dragging this component, adding it to this, he's able to create this kind of complex system that you can even sell to someone, right? So just have that at the back of your mind while Anas is saying this, explaining this.
Yes, sir. Okay, so thank you very much for the contribution, sir. So the moment we've stored our today's transaction, right? The next thing is we fetch all of our transaction history, both the previous one, both the recent one, and then merge it into a single record with what? With the merge tool, okay? So which is also a drag and drop node. So once you drag and drop the node, you pass the data that you've gotten from your Google Sheets onto the merge node, which in turn merge everything into a single item and then sends it to your AI agent, okay? That is responsible for giving financial recommendation, okay? So based on your prompt, it's going to come up with a financial recommendation. So each of the AI agents that we set up, you can come up with a prompt which basically starts as an identity. So it's more like there's no limitation. So you can set up an AI agent that, just like Mr. David said, so let us create man in our own image. So you can set up an AI agent that behaves like you. You can set up an AI agent that behaves as a cashier. You can set up an AI agent that behaves as a receptionist. You can set up an AI agent that is a financial expert or a financial analyst. So what matters is your prompt and the level of data that you feed to the agent. So that determines how good your output is going to be, okay? So after we've come up with the financial advice, right? We send the recommendation back to our bots on Telegram, okay? So that's the basic explanation of the workflow. So let's go ahead and explore this in real time. So let me look for I have the transaction receipt here. Let's open it up. So I have a receipt of 3,000 naira, which was on the 27th, to this recipient, and this is the transaction number, transaction ID. So let's go ahead and feed this to our agent, okay? So all I have to do is come, select the document, and then select the transaction receipt. So you can just do this on your phone if you have a receipt on your phone. It's basically the same process. So and then send it to our bots. So sorry, my internet is a bit slow, but beautiful. So all we have to do is wait. So while we're waiting, and then it's already here. Beautiful, beautiful. So receipt logged successfully. Receipt details, amount 3,165. Bill type expense. So remember, I'm the one doing transfer to someone else. I'm sending money. So this is an expense. Bills category. Category type of receipt is what? Bills. And status successful. So be it an expense, be it a credit, be it whatever it is, it logs it down and then understands the kind of nature of the transaction that went through. So as you can see, it also, so based on this, so this is the total financial summary based on all the data that has been stored on our Google Sheet. So we can see our total credits, our total expenses, our total internal transfers, and our net balance, okay? And then we can see our highest expense category, which is our bills. And this is the recommendation we got. Since you have no recorded income and it's more expense, focus on generating additional revenue streams and create a simple budget that limits discretionary spending. Prioritize essential bills and ensure and consider setting up an automatic transfer to a savings account each time you receive money. So which is a very good advice. Financial tip, start tracking every expense and aim to set aside at least 10% of any incoming funds as savings. So that's it, guys. So
Thank you so
Sorry, let
much.
me go back.
Thank you so much, Anas. Thank you so much, Anas. So now imagine building this in just one day, right? A system that can actually help you manage your money efficiently. Because I think a lot of issues that a lot of adults have all around the world is the fact that they don't have someone, right, helping them manage their money or reminding them on a daily basis. You have to save, you have to invest on all of that. And these are things that you actually have to do for you to become financially successful, right? So imagine picking up this skill and being able to build any kind of system that you want to use for any kind of work. And it even goes beyond just this, right? Build one that is going to act like your personal assistant, right? Where that helps you take calls and even help you to um, take meetings. All of these things are little, it just depends on how do you want to go with your almost anything is possible now, and you don't even have to be a software engineer, right? And I'm going to be showing a little bit of demonstration on um, an AI system still to show you that this system is actually capable of way more. And what this one does is it helps meetings, right? Which is one of the tasks that clients to do. They help them to book meetings and schedule them properly so they don't miss any appointment. I'll call on my phone with one, and then I'll put on loudspeaker just so that you can see how these things work beyond the example that Anna's just showed us. That's the expense tracker. So let me put a call over, and then you'll hear it speak in real time.
Thank you for calling Fuse Technologies. Are you for your scheduling assistance? How may I help you today?
Hi, I would like to schedule a meeting.
Absolutely. I can help you with that. What do our time work best for you?
I'm thinking Monday next week.
Just to clarify, are you looking to schedule a consultation or a meeting with us? And would you like it to be in person or virtual?
I would like,
Also, is there a particular day or time you have?
yeah, I would like it to be virtual. Then,
Thank you for letting me know it's like a virtual meeting. What your time would you prefer for your appointment? We're open Monday to Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Let me know what works best for you.
I would like to have it on Monday by 12 p.m.
Enough PM available for your virtual meeting. There are also several slots open throughout the day. From 9 a.m.
This year will finish my credits. Yeah, bye bye. So yeah, guys, that's literally an example of this systems working. And if you notice on calling maybe MTN or any of these other things, you see where they tell you things like if you want to talk to a customer care representative, press one. If you want to, if it was that kind of system, you hear something like press one, press two for this. If you notice one or do anything, it was literally a natural human conversation. Can even do way more when you work as a customer care representative. This is how to use. This is something you need to know how to build. You can put it to your employers, right? And then you can get paid for it. right? I think if you even introduce this kind of systems to your workplace, I think your employer would find you much more valuable than job altogether. So this is basically an example of how AI automation works, which, as I said, you can use it for a whole lot more. And if you want to know how you think you've taken the first arm, which is to be available during this workshop for you to actually see for yourself how these systems work, I'll share more information on how you can go further than this, right? For you to be able to build this system. And like I said, you don't need to understand any programming language or write any code or be super intelligent. Like if you can speak basic English, this system. So we're going to be taking questions. If you have any questions, just indicate by raising your hand. I would ask you to unmute and take your question. If you're shy or you don't want to ask, you don't want us to hear your fine voice, you can drop your question in the comment section or the in chat section, and we'll check it and read it out and answer your question. All right. Yeah, Abdulsalam, you can go ahead.
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening.
It was quite remarkable, and I wanted to ask the name of the tool that was used to like.
Yeah, Abdulsalam, I didn't hear. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, I think my connection went off. Yeah, so I said the presentation Mr. Anas gave, I wanted to ask the name of the tool he used and how can someone like learn how to use it and be conversant to be able to like build something like the AI agent he did for the Telegram stuff.
Okay, awesome, great question. Yeah, so the tool he used is called N8N, right? So it's a tool for building AI powered workflows, that's automation systems. And for you to be able to learn how to do this, you could choose to just take a self-paced online course, where you teach yourself and all of that, which is due to the fact that a lot of people are not built that way. But an alternative to that is we are offering a course on AI automation and personal finance. It's an 8 weeks course where within week 3 and week 4, you'll be able to as this, and after that you'll be able to build stuff that are way more advanced. We had to combine personal finance and AI automation for one reason. A lot of people, teenagers, as I said, right, in schools, a lot of what most people understand about personal finance is not more than savings. We always tell you save for the rainy days. But a lot of people don't understand things like budgeting. They don't understand things like investing. They don't understand what an asset is. They don't understand what a liability is. They don't understand the kind of debt. Most people just believe that debt loan is bad generally, but that's not true, right? You have two types of debts. You have good debts, bad debts. So these are all things that we put together in our course that we teach you. But week 3 and week 4, you'll be able to build these systems. And we have our curriculum that we're teaching approved by N8N, which by the time you're done with the course, you get a certificate that has an N8N. It means you can use it to apply for work anywhere in the world. and your certificate will be recognized. And beyond that, we also provide internship opportunities for you to work at some of our partner organizations where you can put your skill to work. So yeah, this is where you can.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. David. So I'm hoping you're going to like give us a link after this meeting or some information to like go get the course, right?
Yes, yes, yes. What we'd be doing is we'd share the link, and then would also be sharing a link to our WhatsApp group where we always share updates about AI and all of that. So you can join the WhatsApp group, and then maybe if you're having any challenge with making payment or anything around the course, you can easily just let us know there and we'll attend to you. So I'll definitely make that available. All
All
right,
right, thank you very much.
so I'm going to take the other question. Abdullah, he said, well done for the amazing session. To Zach, yeah. So the thing is, depending on the tool that you're using, you'd have to pay, because I mean, these are organizations that um, they need to generate money for them to have a business. But for our course, for example, like the NHN tool that we use has like a paid version, right? Where you pay, I think, about $20 a month or thereabouts for you to be able to use it. But we have a way that our students use that is totally free. So for all the students, all the people that are using that taking our current course, we have current cohort that will be graduating in July. So every single person that is taking our course, we're helping them set up these tools for free. So you're going to be using it for free. You're going to be setting up whatever you need to set up for free. Beyond the fee you're paying for the course, you would literally set up all these things for free. But things like Claude and all these other ones, yeah, you'd have to pay for them, except you have some kind of partnership with them or something. But yeah, you'd have to pay. But then they have free versions of these tools, right? So I don't think that would be an excuse to not use AI systems. So yeah. Then the other question I'm going to take is Ogechi is asking tools for creating free tools for creating AI videos and other stuff. Yeah, there are a lot of them, like Google Nano Banana, that you can use to create graphics. I don't know about videos or movies. I've not tried to do that before. Um, what I focus on mostly is automating these things. And why I focus on automating these things is for one reason, right? Whether it's Google Nano Banana or any other tool that I can use to create graphics or any of these things, I can literally create an AI automation that can help me create the video or movie using those tools, and even help me still connect to like a platform like YouTube, help me upload it, help me manage my YouTube channel and all of this. So this is something that you can literally use for anything, right? I don't think having to go and learn individual tools is always a good idea. Tools, but if you understand AI, you can use AI automation to handle those other tools and do what you have to do. So I hope I answered your question, Ogechi. I'm sharing the WhatsApp group now. Yeah, so you can join from that. I think we also shared the link to enroll for the course. So does anyone have any other question? And please, if you're enjoying this session, can you give like a thumbs up or reaction or something? So we'll know. Awesome. Yes, David, Oladeji, yes, this session is being recorded, and would send it to every single one of you via email. And to also access it quickly, you can also join our WhatsApp group, which would also share it there, so it's easier, because I know a lot of people don't always check their emails. So yeah, so we can share it over WhatsApp, but you can always access it. Erica Ibrahim, sorry about that. We always have sessions. So one of the things we try to do is to make sure we educate people about AI and other advanced technologies, because to be honest, especially as Africans, I think the easiest way you can really survive a lot of hardship around Africa or the continent or the country where you are is to be able to understand these technologies so that you can position yourself for international opportunities, right? Create your own economy. Because if you want to focus on the economy of some countries in Africa, Sapa go munju. But yeah, does anyone have any other question, by the way? I'm sharing the link to the WhatsApp group again. So just in case you missed it, as I said, we'll be sharing more events. I think we have another one. We have another event on AI, but that will be on Twitter on the 9th of July, where we're bringing in some other speakers from other companies that are very, very knowledgeable. People like Ola Yinka from Indigenous AI. I think his company recently raised about $250,000 to push their company further. So we'll be bringing more people like this that you'll be able to hear from and learn from. I think the fun of all of this is for every single one of us to learn and grow together. So if you don't want to miss out, join the WhatsApp group, and we'll always drop this kind of information there. Or information rather, informations. Does anyone have any other question before we end today's session? One thing we'll be doing to appreciate every single one of you for joining today's session, to show that you're actually interested in advancing your life and your career, and then making your life and career better now and in the future, is we're going to be offering a 50% discount to just 3 people, right? So 3 people. So the first 3 people that indicate within the group are going to be getting a 50% discount. The original discount, the original cost of our course with the 50% discount, paying just 25,000 naira. And any other person who wants to pay after that would have to pay 45,000 naira, which will be given a discount of just 10%. So thank you everyone for joining today's session. I hope we're able to provide value to you guys, and I hope you'll be able to use this in your business, in your studies, and wherever you find yourself. AI is a general purpose technology, and I think the best thing you can do for yourself right now is to learn it. And even if you don't want to learn it, if you're parents, learn it for your children. Like, don't joke with this technology. Elon Musk said something. He said that AI is much more worse than nuclear weapon. And yeah, nuclear weapons can be used for just one thing, just to bomb a place. But intelligence can be used for a whole lot of things. So if you're a parent as well, learn this so that you can understand how far these technologies can go, how capable they are, so that you can be able to direct your younger ones, your siblings, your children. Because trust me, this can work, and a lot of people are heavily over lots of people who were almost scammed due to the fact that someone called them sounding like their child or their sibling, and they couldn't differentiate between their sibling voice and the voice of an AI, and they got almost scammed, and even some people got scammed millions of dollars. So we are in a society right now where there are a lot of opportunities and the risks are even higher, right? So if you're not learning it for you to take advantage of the opportunities, learn it for you to mitigate the risk for yourself and your loved ones, because I don't think anyone is going to be totally safe. And if you leave the responsibility to the government, I don't think they understand the technology enough for them to be able to do anything, especially in the interim, because technology moves faster than regulations. So thank you everyone for joining today's session. I hope to see you in our WhatsApp group. Have a wonderful weekend and have a great time. Thank you so much for joining today's session.